Hi everyone. I've decided that I am actually my own worst enemy when it comes to my health issues. Um, I had a phone call last Tuesday, right out of the blue, offering me an appointment for this morning with yet another neurologist. Now, I don't know why this appointment was made or why it was so quick. It's really unusual to have an appointment with only 7 days notice, so I don't know what, but anyhow I tried not to get my hopes up too much, but as anyone else who's going through what I am knows, it's very difficult not to, because you just really want answers as to the problems. But anyhow, I got to the appointment. I went on my own because I just can't keep putting my wife through this every time. I mean, she's a bit like me now. We've sort of resigned ourselves to not being to these being a waste of time, but I still went and I hoped it would be good. But right from the start, right from the moment I walked in to see the neurologist, I could see that I was going to be the problem and cause them not to take me seriously, and this has always been the case. The nurse did the usual, took my weight and my blood pressure, which is up really high, and she saw a couple of my involuntary movements, which are quite often triggered by things like having blood pressure taken and that. And I just said that's what the problem was. Anyhow, I went into the neurologist and she just sort of said to me, well, what are you here for? And I hadn't prepared anything because in the past that's gone down badly for me. So then I just blurted everything out. It just came out in really not very coherently as to what was going on. In fact, I majored on my speech problems, which was ridiculous, but I did anyhow, and I could already feel that I was starting to get very nervous and hyperventilating. I think I almost have a phobia now. Whenever I see a white coat, it's enough to make me go into a panic. And I think that's what happened, and I could feel myself hyperventilating, and she did all these tests, but she did them so at lightning speed and didn't give me time to even think what she was doing, to even get my head around the first set of instructions when the next set of instructions was coming. And when I didn't react quickly enough, she was not particularly happy. And she was quite terse with me, and she did. I had a couple of involuntary movements while she was doing the reflex tests, which I know she didn't do all. She only did a minimal amount of them. I know there's ones that she missed, like the Babinski and Hoffman's. She didn't bother doing those, and the jaw jerk, and a number of others that she should have done, but she didn't. But I had a couple of involuntary movements, and she assumed that it was down to my nerves, and the nurse intervened and said, no, this is part of the problem, and she seemed to acknowledge. And then I had another one, and she assumed again, so I was hitting my head against the brick wall. And I was asked to walk on my hands, on my heels and on my toes, which I struggled to do. But that was far worse than what I would normally be. I could feel myself shaking and hyperventilating, and I know that it all showed to them, or it seemed to her, that everything was caused by psychological problems. So it was an absolute waste of time. Until I can sort myself out and not be nervous when I'm with these people, I can't see myself ever getting a diagnosis. I'm always going to be assumed that it's down to stress. So I think I'm my own worst enemy, really. I feel totally fed up. And sometimes I just feel like I want to give up, which of course I won't, but I feel like it because I always feel so worthless after these experiences, and feel very hard on myself because I know that I've not done myself any favours. So there we go, another neurologist number 6, and yet still no more answers. Bye for now.